All right, good morning. Good morning. I see Steve in the chat there. How you doing, brother? And we've got the backup Cameron up this morning, but that's okay. That's okay. How you doing this morning, Cameroon?
I am bloody amazing. Happy to be here for my favorite segment of the week.
Hell yes. So okay, we've got Zaluska and Patrick have joined us now. Excellent, excellent. Hey, it's Firearms Friday, y'all. And it's also the last day of my 30s. The last day. Hey, Steve says he's replanting a garden this morning. That beats working. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
I don't know, man. Gardens are work. It's a labor of love, sure, but it's labor.
Hey, cutting a film is work, but it beats the shit out of rewiring a fridge or filling in a HESCO barrier.
Or doing rodent monitoring.
Yeah. I would definitely rather be at my desk editing a video than doing rodent monitoring. Speaking of editing video, go ahead. What were you say?
I was just gonna further pound on the joke there because I'm in pest control, but you were about to segue, so by all means.
That wasn't gonna be much of a segue. I was gonna brag a little bit. I've been cutting video. I've been a little behind on what I wanted to cut because, like yesterday, I spent the whole day chasing Joe Biden around Georgia to no avail. What a pain in the ass that was. But I want to share this video real quick from the Sergeant Major. Let me just get it pulled up so y'all can see it. So I've kind of teased it. Dad and I and along with Uncle Steve and Dad's buddy Russ, we're kind of starting up this new show called Messing About in Boats, and I think this is the first time I've actually said the title here. Basically, the show's about taking interesting people out fishing, and just by way of an example, this is one that Dad pulled in. Day before yesterday, I was still at the desk, so I didn't get to go on this particular fishing trip. But let me show you. This is the kind of fishing we're talking about. You can't see it, can you, Cameron? But you saw it.
I saw the picture.
You video it?
Yeah.
26 pounds, boys. Let me see if I can hold him. I can't hardly hold it out.
But yeah, that's a big damn fish.
Yeah, that is a no bullshit big damn fish.
So, yeah, we've already done two fishing trips, and I've got the first one almost done cut. I've already put out one little video out, just a little clip from it. But yeah, we're having fun with that. And no, I don't guess I've got an and there. Maul says that's dinner tonight. Yeah, we're frying that fish this evening. I can't wait. And yesterday's activities, I was supposed to meet with some people around noon up in Buckhead to do a Biden rally, and the Biden Secret Service team they just kept changing things, changing the schedule, changing the location. Oh, we're moving it over here, and oh, we're pushing it back 2 hours. And I finally told the GOP reps, I was like, guys, I wanted to do this, but honestly, I'm expected to fry fish with the family tonight, and I'm just not hanging around for another 2. I got there at 11 o'clock yesterday morning, and suddenly they're telling me, well, the whole thing's not going to start until 6. Like, yeah, y'all have a nice day. And I headed back home. And then other plans changed, and now we're having that fish tonight, so I didn't miss it. And that matters. Trish says I'm a little jealous. Well, get on down here. Come back and see us, and we'll take you out on the boat, Trish. It'll be a ball.
You know, I gotta tell you, fish that big, like, you might need to invite some people over to your house just to help eat it. Like, damn.
Are you trying to drop a hint?
Oh no. If I wanted to come over there and help you eat that fish, I'd say, hey, buddy, can I please come over there and help you eat that fish?
Hey, and Sergeant Major points out, since it's Firearms Friday, get us back on topic, he was in fact wearing a concealed weapon in that video. And yes, sir, I was also wearing a concealed weapon each time I went on that boat. Because you never know. Sometimes the fish back.
In Mother Russia, catfish you.
Mother Russia. Wow, I just got an image in my head. Woo. So, Cameron, what do you want to start with? I've got us a little better than a half dozen stories pulled up, and then there's the other thing.
Let's start with the Supreme Court thing, because this is a big deal. What's it been? Almost 20 years. I can't remember exactly, but it's been a long time since the Supreme Court took up a Second Amendment case.
No, I think, let me check. I think Heller v. D.C. was 2010.
So that'd be 11 years. Either way, that's a long time. And now they're taking up a case. And to summarize it...
It was 08.
08. Okay.
But yeah, it's been a hot damn minute.
And it's not like that there's not tons of Second Amendment cases that could potentially be taken up, especially since states like...
Hang on, look, just real quick, Cameron. I said that Polak Zaluska and Bubbles both dropped the hint in the live chat that they want to join us for some fried fish. Ma and Granddad are watching, so I'll let y'all deal with that.
I don't know if Alex comes over, you might not need anybody else to help finish off that fish. That's a big boy.
Shit.
Right there.
That's a whole lot of Polak right there.
But anyhow, they haven't taken up a Second Amendment case in quite some time, and this one is interesting because of the potential implications for it. Basically, it's a pain in the ass to get a permit to carry a weapon in New York. You have to know somebody. You have to be able to prove that your life is at risk. Hey, I live in New York. A high crime area is in fact not a good reason as far as New York is concerned. So the Heller case said you can have a gun in your home. This case is more about, can you carry a gun around in public? And it all comes down to the fact that New York is a may issue state for the concealed carry permit.
Right.
Whereas Georgia
the New York law says that you have to prove proper cause and a generalized desire to carry a concealed weapon to protect one's person and property does not constitute proper cause. In other words, if you hope to I'm reading from an article here. In other words, if you hope to legally carry a handgun in New York, basic self-defense is not a good enough reason. I don't remember there being a proper cause clause in the right to keep and bear arms. So what's really at issue here is the consanguinity of the phrases, of the two separate words in the phrase keep and bear. Those two words are equally relevant. You have the right to keep and bear arms. To argue that somehow restricts your right to bear your arms in your home alone is it's not crazy. It's actively dishonest. You cannot simultaneously tell me that English is your first language and you read it well and that you understand the Second Amendment to be different than you have the right to keep and bear arms without restriction of any kind. I've said it before on here in Heller versus DC. The other side of the argument was not there are reasonable restrictions. The other side of the argument was there is no right for the people to keep and bear arms. Only the military has that right. Part of the counter argument to that claim is why would it need to be expressed that the military and the police are authorized to keep and bear arms? That's insane. You're going to have a standing army, and you're not going to assume that the fact that it is a standing army necessarily means that it must keep and bear arms? That's ludicrous. The point of the Second Amendment is that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And that word, infringed, that is a very important word. That doesn't mean merely that you will not interrupt or interfere with the right of the people to keep and bear arms. It is infringed. Right? I will festoon my bedchambers with your entrails. Festoon, infringed. I will surround. It means that no law can be adjacent to the concept of keeping and bearing arms. Background checks are unconstitutional. Limitations on magazines are unconstitutional. A prohibition on the keeping and bearing arms for felons, unless you want to argue that their citizenship itself is revoked, and even that's not a good cause for the argument, because the point is that the right of a person to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, not the right of a citizen. Carry permits are unconstitutional. Concealed carry permits are unconstitutional. Any law that references the ability of a person to purchase or create, retain, maintain, and carry, and use in proper course a firearm or any other weapon of any kind is a power grab and a blatant violation of the Constitution, and should be considered an absolute direct attack by the enemies of the people on the individual sovereignty of sovereign citizens.
Now, of course, I know what I want to have happen here. I want for them to say, "Dear New York, you can go fuck yourself. You cannot be a may issue state. You will be a shall issue state." And of course, ideally, I'd like for them to pick apart the entire concept of having a concealed carry permit, but they're not going to go that far. But I tell you, the thing that I'm worried about here is the court really let us down in the last election cycle. They refused to even take up a case that very obviously needed to be taken up. I sincerely believe that the Supreme Court could have taken up the case about frogs with erections, and even if they had come down 9-0 with a ruling that our side didn't like, at least it would have gone to court, and the evidence, good or bad, would have been heard. It would be part of the permanent record and all of that, okay? And I can't help but be worried that the court might also not want to overreach with this particular case. And I think it's fair. We can count on Clarence Thomas to rule the right way.
Oh, yeah.
Clarence Thomas, right? And we can actually count on Kavanaugh to rule the right way because we've got past statements from him that describe him as pretty pro-Second Amendment. But John Roberts, man, I don't trust him. Not even a little bit.
Roberts isn't capable of ruling correctly. What Roberts does is he sits down and he looks at the facts and the merits of a case. He comes to the correct conclusion. He figures out what the law actually says, what the spirit of the law means, how the Constitution frames the law, and what the founders intended for the law to be, and then he writes an opinion that is precisely contrary to that. That's Roberts.
So, I don't know. And part of the problem is this also has the potential to backfire. It goes to the court and we get an unfavorable ruling. Well, now the whole concept of may issue has been accepted by the Supreme Court. So states like Colorado that are changing their gun laws to be more may issue oriented as opposed to shall issue, um, laws like that will stick. So I don't know. We'll have to watch this one. It's got potential to really blow up in our faces. It's got potential to be huge for gun rights, and it's also got potential to fizzle out. And this is kind of what I think will happen, is that the Supreme Court will so narrowly tailor their decision. They'll come up with the quote unquote right decision, but they'll so narrowly write their opinion on it that it doesn't have much impact overall on Second Amendment issues. That's just my 2 cents.
I'm a little more sanguine than that. I'm hoping that Thomas writes the opinion on this one. And here again, I'm quoting from an article from, I'll put it up, from Reason. At least 2 members of the current court clearly believe that the Second Amendment's protections should extend beyond the front door. In 2017, Justice Clarence Thomas, joined by Neil Gorsuch, dissented from the court's refusal to hear a case that asked whether the Constitution protects the right to carry guns in public. The court has already suggested, and this now I'm quoting Thomas from this article. Thomas wrote, "The court has already suggested that the Second Amendment protects the right to carry firearms in public in some fashion. Thomas wrote, as we explained in Heller, to bear arms means to wear, bear, or carry upon the person or in the clothing or in a pocket for the purpose of being armed and ready for offensive or defensive action in a case of conflict with another person. The most natural reading of this definition encompasses public carry. I find it extremely improbable," Thomas added, "that the framers understood the Second Amendment to protect little more than carrying a gun from the bedroom to the kitchen."
Yeah. So wait, Gorsuch joined him in that?
Gorsuch joined Thomas in that dissent. That tells me that we've got, obviously we've got Thomas. That tells me that we also have Gorsuch, and I'm not a big fan of Kavanaugh because of all his
I have tons of women friends.
Yeah.
I love women.
I love the women. I love the women. That's way too much virtue signaling for my taste.
And it didn't shield him either.
No, it didn't. But all that shit. Oh yeah, I've had this many women clerks and this many. It sounds to me like you make your decisions you make your hiring decisions based on gender and not on qualifications. But anyway, I digress. I do still think Kavanaugh's a solid vote on this one. I think ACB is too. And Alito, come on, yeah. My concern here is not that we lose on this one. I could be wrong, but which not often, but it happens. My read on this is that I don't think we're in real danger of losing anything here, but just like you were saying, Cameron, there's not a lot of spine left in the politicians anymore, and even though we're supposed to, it's ludicrous to continue to pretend like the Supreme Court justices are anything more than mere politicians. That we have clearly learned between Obamacare and Obergefell that they are little more than politicians. I might even go so far as to say they are no more than politicians. But and so the greatest danger, I think, here is just like you said, a very narrow ruling that doesn't go so far as to expand gun rights, but at least holds them where they are. A very narrow ruling would basically, the most narrow ruling in this case would have a result something akin to states that already have may issue laws or may issue rules on their permitting get to keep their May issue, but they have to relax the enforcement of carry method for those which are issued. The result of which will be a backlash from those states, making their May issue requirements more onerous. And Revivian66681, you are going on the block list because you don't get to sell me viewers. I don't play that game. I go meet people, I shake hands, and I do a good show. That's how we get viewers on this channel. So,
fair enough. But we can dream, okay? We can dream, like, because what this should be is 9-0 in our favor. Like, no, it's already bullshit that permits are required in the first place.
yes.
And now you're going to make the permits even more difficult to get? Yeah. No. Screw you.
Yeah, the only conclusion that can be drawn if this case doesn't get a 9-0 agreement that all permits must be abolished because they're unconstitutional, the only conclusion you can draw from that outcome, which, by the way, is the almost guaranteed outcome, is that those justices who side with the retention of permits are political activists who are opposed to the Constitution. They're people like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who said that the U.S. Constitution should not be anyone's basis of government.
Yep. Well, I mean,
Because, okay, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think we know that, like, Sotomayor, we know which way she's going to vote, right? So even if you get the other 8 justices, you're not getting Sotomayor.
We've known with Sotomayor, we've known from her initial confirmation hearing, her weather vane is, what decision can I issue that hurts white people the most?
The wise Latina that she is.
Yeah, she's a radical big racist. Just an incredibly dangerous person. She's a radical racist. That's not a secret. That's not a secret or an opinion.
I wouldn't be surprised if the backstab comes from ACB. I just wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, because ACB, I mean, she's a Scalia disciple, for lack of a better phrasing. But yeah. But it's worth understanding that at least just half of the Supreme Court, who are supposed to be defenders of the Constitution, are actively hostile to the Constitution. They hate it. They would see it abolished if they had that authority.
Well, hey, man, no amendment.
Which they seem to be attempting to usurp. Right? That's been basically Robert's entire career, is the active usurpation of authority not granted by the Constitution for the purpose of abolishing the Constitution through judicial activism and legislation from the bench. And holy shit, we have done nearly a full half hour of Firearms Friday without a single DGU.
Let's defensive gun use. Let's do it, baby.
Back to the article view. Okay. I'm going to do this one just for the headline because... Oh, and Cameron, I'm sorry you can't see the headline. I get to hear your reaction as I read it. And this is one of those headlines that just breaks my heart to sit here and admit that I have not done the work that I've been wanting to do. I've been putting it off for other projects in doing the achievement badges, because this headline is "Woman Holding Baby Who Shot Attacker Acted in Self-Defense, South Carolina Deputies Say."
Damn.
If this is the only one we read today, that just warmed my heart somewhere deep down in the subcockle region.
Oh, man.
A South Carolina
Mama
man...
Bear.
Say again?
I said achievement unlocked, Mama Bear.
Danny said...
She's bearing arms?
Yes, exactly. Danny said the baby shot the attacker. You're right, Danny. This copy editor may have dropped a ball. Let me read that headline for you again. Woman holding baby who shot attacker acted in self-defense. Oh, and I just got this image. I just got this image of my wife walking around holding my youngest daughter, Eleanor, the 2-year-old, and Ellie's wearing a pistol on her back, kind of like Scots and Irish warriors used to wear each. We would be a battle buddy team, and you would wear my claymore and I would wear your claymore because the sword's too long to draw off your own back, so you draw it off your partner's back. Just walking around with a gun strapped to the baby's back, you reach over.
Keep spare ammo in the diaper bag.
Yes. Oh, a South Carolina man injured in a Sunday shooting is facing charges after authorities determined the woman who fired on him acted in self-defense. Lieutenant Ryan Flood with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office confirmed to WYFF on Monday that Christopher Drevon Kennedy, 37, is accused of hitting and choking a woman with whom he has a domestic relationship. The unidentified woman was reportedly holding a 9-month-old baby at the time of the attack, and Kennedy is also accused of attacking a man who attempted to help her. According to Flood, the woman located a firearm in a piece of Kennedy's clothing while he was attacking the second unidentified man, and that she fired at Kennedy when he later charged it. She shot him with his gun!
His own gun! Oh my God!
Woman holding baby shoots bad guy with bad guy's gun. That is how you write that headline, shitburger. Oh, Kelly Dugan. Go back to journalism school.
Wow.
Flood confirmed that investigators believe the woman fired the gun in self-defense. You think? Oh.
Why didn't she put the baby down first?
Oh my God. Oh, so I'm going to need a couple of people to come over tomorrow so we can do a dramatic reenactment of this one. I'm serious. If I can get enough of y'all to come, enough of the right people, enough of y'all who are available to come over here and shoot this, we will do a dramatic reenactment of this story tomorrow. I'm going to print this. I'm going to print this right now.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. Boy, talk about insults on top of injury.
Right.
So apparently they were a couple. Do you think getting shot, do you think they're broken up now?
I should hope so. Zaluska says, I call playing the baby.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. I have a few more minutes. You want to try and squeeze one or two more in?
Yeah, we can squeeze one more in. Oh, okay. And real quick before I do, I don't have the achievement badges, so I can't score this one. The bad guy didn't die, but Chicky took his gun and shot. I don't think I'm going to send her back to the range, right? I mean, I'd have. So I'm just not going to give this one a score. That's the mama bear tag right there. In fact, we may just have to cut another video and do the achievement badge just for her. 'Cause damn. Just damn. One shot in home invasion at Canyon County Coroner's house. Well, saved a trip. Police say a 25-year-old man was wounded after he entered Coroner Jennifer Crawford's home carrying a baseball bat early Tuesday morning. Oh, another young lady pulling a trigger. I love armed women. An intruder was shot in Nampa earlier Tuesday morning after investigators say he entered the home of Canyon County Coroner Jennifer Crawford. Okay, the 25-year-old man was carrying a baseball bat when he got into the coroner's house on Pleasant Hill Drive just after 12:30 a.m. He was shot by a resident of the home who was not Crawford, according to police. The man was taken to a local hospital for treatment. His gunshot wound is not believed to be life-threatening. Okay, that's going to be beat RM. Oh, excuse me. I've got me some hiccups. So BRM.
Yeah, sorry. That story is nowhere near as entertaining as the last.
I mean, how do you follow that? 3 suspects held off in home invasion when mother unlocks gun in Walled Lake. Well, there's a step in the right direction. Fox 2. Intruders broke into a family's Walled Lake home in the middle of the night. A mother jumped into action to protect her children. The woman got the family's gun out as they waited for police to arrive to protect her children. Police end up arresting the 3 suspects while tense moments were caught on video inside. Oh, hello. Oh, looks like we've got video and no audio. Are you sitting still, Cameron, or are you driving?
I'm driving.
Okay. I was going to share it to you.
I appreciate it. But,
the video is clouded. Can't really tell what's going on here. You just kind of see two shapes moving around. Woman walks by the front of the camera. Cuts to some tennis shoes. Okay, you're boring me.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh, hello. What the hell's with the shoes? Okay.
Oh well.
And it says that the family believes they were targeted because they're black. I'm sure they were.
Oh.
Okay.
That's adorable. That's adorable. You know, that does go to something with the magazine capacity. Like, okay, so why do you need 30 rounds? Well, multiple intruders? I forget the exact ratio, but it's something like 4 or 5 shots for one target. And if you're limited to 10 rounds and you've got 3 targets, you don't have enough bullets to put down all the targets. Most people are not expert marksmen. And if you're in the absolute oh shit situation, say, like, I don't know, 3 people breaking into your house in the middle of the night, that you're going to be nervous, I guess is what I'm driving at. Now, maybe not you, Chris, but most people are going to be upset naturally. So, and that right there, your magazine argument. Why do you need 100 rounds? Because there might be 100 bad guys. You never know.
That and okay, we're not going to get to any more articles this morning, just because time is short, and this is an important conversation here. So I'm a very good shot. Yeah, absolutely. I can hit targets very, very, very reliably with my rifle at 300 meters. With iron sights, no scope. But guess what? I'm hitting each one of those targets that I'm hitting at that range. I'm hitting them, but I'm hitting them center mass. So there's a heart in there somewhere. But just because I hit you generally center mass, at 300 meters, center mass might be your left hip, or it might be your right shoulder, right? The aim point is center mass. The point is, you're talking about throwing 5.56 or 2.23 downrange. Even the big 357 that it's compact 350, but the 357 that I carry as my daily, shot is not dead. Gunshot wounds are largely survivable, right? A single gunshot wound, I mean, if it doesn't kill you on impact, like a perfect headshot or a perfect heart shot, you got a pretty good chance you're going to survive that. And if you're talking about a wound that's, just a gut shot, untreated, yeah, a gut shot's going to sour and kill you in a couple of days, but if you get your butt to the hospital, you got a pretty good chance of making it out with one bullet wound. Even two or three bullet wounds, unless they hit in very specific places, you got a pretty good chance that a doctor can put you back together. And when you're talking about self-defense, the question is not killing the enemy. As much as we would prefer that bad guys die when bad guys do bad stuff, your objective when you have to defend yourself with a firearm is stopping them.
Yes. Yeah, you shoot to stop. That is the point.
Right.
You're trying to eliminate the threat. When they fall over, you can stop shooting.
Now
that's the point.
Yeah, and that's a touchy conversation to get into too, because the law in many cases will argue that you shouldn't execute them after they're on the ground, but the fact of the matter is that just because they're stopped and can't move forward doesn't mean that they are no longer a threat. You got a bad guy on the ground, can't get back up on his feet, but he still has a firearm in his hand. He's still a threat. You still have to stop him. He may have stopped moving forward, but you need to stop him more. But yeah, the limited magazine thing, I don't care how good a shot you are. If you are a single individual dealing with multiple attackers, and like Steve points out, multiple attacker incidents are more common than ever now. Multiple attacker incidents have always been more common than single attacker incidents.
Yeah, well, oftentimes criminals are cowards.
Yes.
They need backup. They don't have the ball. Like the whole cat burglar thing, like that's a myth. It makes good TV shows and shit like that. But in reality, when you have a gang that decides to rob you, it's multiple members of the gang that rob you. It's why you join a gang in the first damn place, so that you've got people that will back you up.
Yeah, the one crackhead with a pocket knife trying to hold you up for your wallet or your purse is the way you see it in the movies. That's not how that usually happens. You start talking about muggings, and what you're usually looking at in real life is it's actually at least three people. It's usually three guys.
Yeah, so they can surround you.
Yeah, it's in fairness to them, it's a sound tactical choice. I mean,
fair enough.
I mean, if I'm planning combat activities, I always want to outnumber the enemy at least 3-1. Right. I mean, that's just sound decision making. So,
Right.
I mean, I could talk on this topic for a long time. We're already 10 minutes over. So, yeah, the idea of limiting magazine capacities, I cannot say it firmly enough. No law which is adjacent to the concept of firearm is constitutionally tolerable. Period.
But wait a minute, ghost guns might show up at a crime scene with 100 bullets in them.
Yeah, that's interesting, Joe. Can you name one?
Yep. Oh damn, you ain't lying. We are over.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Fun.
12 minutes.
It's my favorite segment.
All right, guys. Check us. You pay attention tomorrow. I'll be going live with another wrestling coverage tomorrow evening. I'm not sure exactly how that one's going to go. We've changed some of the administrative rules. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow night is I'm going to live stream it on all the BFM stuff, all the Just for Fun stuff, and on the Southern Fried Championship Wrestling fan page through Facebook. I'll do that I'll probably do that tomorrow and the next one on the 15th, and then after the 15th I think we'll switch to live streaming it exclusively on Southern Fried Wrestling's fan page and just not bother with the BFM or Just for Fun, because this, as much as this is BFM partnering with SFCW and J4F radio, this one is very much about increasing viewership and patronage for Southern Fried Championship Wrestling. So if y'all didn't see the last one we did, guys, I used to be a huge wrestling fan when I was a kid. I haven't followed it as much in recent years. Starting to get back into watching it just for the fun of watching the fights. And the last one I did, whoo! I have never seen somebody bleed that much in a fight that I didn't hit. I've seen one other person in my life bleed that much in a fist fight, and I hit him. His name was Vernon, and that was 30 years ago. So, thanks for watching, guys. I love you. It is the weekend. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm gonna be 40. I know this beard makes me look older. That's 4 kids in a desert war lying to you about my age. Be 40 tomorrow. This is the last day of my 30s, and it is the weekend. Don't drive drink, don't fry bacon naked, sex, drugs, rock and roll, farm animals, firearms, and videotape. No 2 at the same time. Be safe, be brave, and we will see you on Monday. Take care.